Hello, everybody, and welcome into another edition of On the Road with the AHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, reminding everybody to drive safe out there in their Drive Safe Alabama campaign. Brett and Lauren here in Sylacauga, Alabama this week as we get set to preview the BB Comer Tigers against the Beulah Bobcats, a big region matchup here for BB Comer. We're in Sylacauga, the Marble City, and we're excited. We're in, Lauren, your old stomping grounds, just right up the road.
I know. So I'm originally from Childersburg, so I used to hang out in the Sylacauga area all the time when I got my driver's license. We were ripping and roaring these downtown roads, and I'm excited to be back here today. There's so much to love about Sylacauga, and I'm excited to share it with you.
Well, you're the master of knowledge around this area, so I'm going to lean on that heavily today, Lauren, for you to be my tour guide. We're excited. Going to find ourselves at a staple of Sylacauga at Mama Rees a little bit later on. I can't wait for that. We haven't had a lunch buffet, so that's going to be really cool, a meet and three kind of place. So I know everybody in Alabama loves those places and probably have one in your hometown somewhere, but they are getting fewer and fewer, Lauren, so we're excited.
Oh, yeah, and listen, I love a good buffet, so we can try out a little bit of everything.
That's your favorite thing. You like to sample.
Yeah, I'm a sample girl. I never can make my mind up. Can any woman make their mind up? So a buffet is perfect for that.
Is that what they made buffets for women?
I think so.
Okay, all right, I'll take that. Hey, we do want to say a big thank you to the Alabama Department of Transportation, Allison Green, Tony Harris, for being the sponsor of this program, reminding everybody as Lauren and I travel around this state, our beautiful state, to be safe on the roads, especially on Friday nights, coming to and from games on Thursdays. There's a lot of Thursday games. Obviously, that's what we do. We preview the Thursday game. We talk about, cell phones. We talk about all types of different things, wearing your seatbelt. We never talk about speeding, and speeding is the #1 contributing factor, really, to most fatal crashes. Got to watch the speed limit signs. It can get away from you. These vehicles now, you can be cruising down the road and not feel like you're going very fast, Lauren. You look down, you're going 75, 80 miles an hour. Speed is very, very, I guess, like I just said, the important or the biggest factor in most of these fatal crashes. You got to slow down.
That's right. And a lot of times when you're going to these games, we're standing in downtown, you end up driving through a lot of downtown areas. Right. So you need to know when you're going through these downtown areas, the speed limits are going to steadily decrease. So when you're looking out for your red lights and your stop signs, look for those speed signs because they're there for a reason. You need to start slowing down, making sure you're paying close attention to everybody around you.
Yeah. Make sure you look for those red lights because you don't want to see the blue lights in your rearview mirror, that's for sure. But Lauren and I are about to hit the road here in Sylacauga, and we're looking forward to it. Stay tuned, more to come here on the program right after this.
Hey! Alabama has a hands-free driving law, which means you can't hold your mobile phone while you drive. And you can only use a single finger or swipe to answer a call. And you can't send or read a text message or watch or record video. It's a part of Alabama's Code of the Road, and knowing it helps you follow it. You can check out the law at drivesafealabama.org.
When we get home,
right?
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
All right, here at BB Comer High School with Coach Adam Fawcett. Coach, first of all, thanks for taking some time out to join us here at the football field. You got a big game coming up Thursday night against a region opponent in Beulah, and again, another opportunity for you guys. But first, let me just say, since you've been here at BB Comer, man, you've turned this program around. The culture's different. You've won the region the last couple years, and I know a lot of people are excited about the way BB Comer plays football again.
Yeah, definitely. Over the past couple of years, we've seen some really good games here, and we've hosted 2 semifinal games, and just the community involvement and everybody getting behind us over the past couple of years has been really good. And the participation's been up, and that's huge as far as just small town community football.
Talk about this region again. It's a tough region. It's a meat grinder. You had two teams that came over from AHSAA and Glenwood and Lee Scott. Your schedule's been tough. You opened up with the #1 team in 1A in Wadley, and they've got a lot of studs on that football team, and they're #1 for a reason. And you played Piedmont last week. I know it's not the results that you guys want right now, especially after the last several years, but there is one positive thing. You play tough teams like that, it gets you ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt. You play tough teams, and look, we're in a situation where when I got here, everybody wanted to play us. And then last year I'm looking for non-region games and nobody wants to play us. So, Coach Miley at Wadley called and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to play you or not. And talked to Coach Miller at Piedmont. And so those are tough games. And but you're right, the tough schedule helps us in our tough region too. So Glenwood came up here and played well, and they've got some athletes. So it's been kind of a tough go at it. But we stepped out of region play last week, and you step back into region this week, and we still have a chance to have a great season. We still have a chance to build on the things that we've done, and we've got a region win in our pocket, so that helps us out as far as region standings. So we just got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, you just got to take them one at a time, like you said. And Beulah's better this year. You look at their record, and that's a program that has historically kind of struggled, but I think they're 4-2 on the season. So I know you guys know what you're faced with, but it's an important game, like you said. All games are important. Everybody wants to win them all, but the region games are what punches your ticket to the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt. The region games are very important, and Beulah has gotten better. We've seen them on film. They're playing a really good brand of football. They're playing very, very physical and tough. So, for us to be able to play at home is going to be huge, and hopefully we have a big home crowd come out on Thursday and support us and get out here and cheer these guys on.
Coach, before I let you go, just got to ask you, you've been here 7 years. You've won the region the last couple of years. You played for a state title a few years ago. Talk about what it took and how you changed the culture here at BB Comer.
The first day I told them, I said, it's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be worth it. And those kids bought in, and we've had a good group come through. And you look at the 12 seniors. We had 12 seniors last year. 3 of them are playing college football right now. 4 of them were first team All-State kids. So we've had a good group come through, and we've had a committed group come through. So those guys have helped build the program, and record doesn't show it, but our seniors this year have been a part of that, and they're pushing through, and they understand the difference. They understand the trials that we've gone through, and they're facing the adversity pretty well. But for them to continue that tradition and continue just making a mark for us and for Comer football.
Well, Coach, really appreciate you coming out and taking some time to talk about the game coming up this Thursday. Good luck to you guys, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alabama has a hands-free driving law, and that means you can't hold your mobile phone while making a call. Oh, and no writing messages, recording, or watching videos either. Plus, you can only use a single button or swipe of a finger to answer a call. So what's a driver to do? Alabama's hands-free driving law is in effect. Follow it.
No business being out there. Terrible.
I'm a person too.
With Amana brand, there's a level of trust. Trust that our quality products are reliable and innovative and backed by an outstanding warranty, letting you focus on what matters most. So it's no surprise that the Amana brand S-Series heating and cooling system provides comfort that blends with your lifestyle. It's slim, smart, quiet, and energy efficient. Exactly the kind of year-round comfort you'll feel, but hardly notice. Take comfort. It's an Amana brand.
All right, Lauren, how are you doing this?
My feet are not on.
How are you doing this?
They're not
are you
on
cheating?
the pedals.
Are you cheating?
No. Here's my foot.
Okay, I don't know what just happened. I mean, you know, again, we're on the road with the AHSAA, and we're here in Sylacauga, and this is literally a tourist attraction from all over. You got to come to Gravity Hill if you've never been to Gravity Hill. I mean, they say it's an illusion, but my eyes tell me different. And I guess that's what makes it an illusion, but I also know physics. And as you just saw, Lauren went backwards and she didn't have her foot on it. She stuck her foot up, by the way. Don't do that, okay? If you're driving down, don't do that, okay? But we're on Gravity Hill, and she had it neutral at the bottom of the hill right behind us, you can see. And the van went backwards.
Look, I've said this before. I'm from Childersburg, and this was like the place that we came. When we had friends from all over different cities, I was like, hang on a minute, let's go to Gravity Hill. Nobody ever believed me. And they're like, there's no way this is for real. It is for real.
Seeing is believing. Rolling is for believing, I guess. I mean, but it's right off 280 here. Just Google Gravity Hill. It's really cool to experience it. And again, try to make sense out of it. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever been able to say for certain that this is why this does what it does.
No, I've never been able to see like how it actually works. I came here as a kid all the time, and my dad was so like fun about it. He would make up different mysteries, but it actually works. Again, do not put your foot up in the air. But I wanted to prove to y'all it really does work. And it's something that's cool. Look, when you're from Childersburg, there's not a whole lot going on in this city, in the Childersburg area, but I'll tell you this is a cool spot to come, and people come here from all over just to see that this is for real. It is seriously a tourist attraction.
All right. Hey, look, we're heading into the month of October. Spooky stuff happens. Gravity Hill, spooky stuff going on here all the time. So come check it out here in Sylacauga.
With Amana brand, there's a level of trust, letting you focus on what matters most. So it's no surprise that the Amana brand S-Series heating and cooling system is exactly the kind of year-round comfort you'll feel, but hardly notice. Take comfort. It's an Amana brand.
All right, Lauren, it's our favorite time of the week. Every week we go around the state and we look for cool places in all of these communities, to the hip place to go eat, let's just say. And the good thing is there's a lot of good places to choose from in these communities, but there's always one that really stands out. And Mama Rees right here in Sylacauga, Alabama, we just talked to her, 43 years this coming up, just a few months.
I mean, that is crazy. And I know I say every week that I remember things as a child, because you always revert back to your childhood and bring up those good memories. But we are in my neck of the woods.
We're right here in your backyard.
We really are. So for everybody that doesn't know, I'm originally from Childersburg. This is right here in the middle of Childersburg and Sylacauga.
Stone's throw right there, by the way.
Yes. So as a child, this is where we came and ate. I can remember coming in here on Sundays after church. This place, you could not get a parking spot.
Right.
And I mean, we're about to find out why, because the food has stayed true to itself. It's great. Great
Well,
food.
look, meat and threes, but this is a buffet style. They serve breakfast, they do lunch, obviously dinner. She's been here over 40, tells you how good it is. If you're somewhere for 40 years, and we just talked to her and she loves doing it. She said maybe more today than she did even when she opened up. And again, you can't go wrong with a country style restaurant. This is the first time we've had that this year.
Yeah.
So we're excited about diving into Mama Rees here, right off Highway 280 in Sylacauga, Alabama. If you're in this area, you have to make a stop by Mama Rees, and we're about to dig in right now.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very good stuff.
You know, and we were just saying this earlier, it's hard to find a meat and three place nowadays.
Can't find one. And they're, usually when you do,
They're
they're
good.
spot on.
I love green beans. and these green beans are delicious.
It's just soul food. And it's
It
just the
is.
soul food of America. So, I mean, I've got some chicken fingers, a salmon patty, green beans, the potatoes, got a little slaw. They got so much up there.
Yeah.
It's like you had to go back.
I know.
I mean,
we
so-
got to go back. And this is perfect for you and I because if you've watched Week to Week, Brett and I like to try a little bit of everything.
We do. We like to sample a little bit. So
here you get to make like your own little
that's right.
home-style charcuterie board, if you will. I mean, I even have
Look,
spaghetti.
my friends are going to say, "Why are you eating that chicken finger with your fork?" I mean, but you try to be a little bit.
Try to be.
I guess.
Proper.
Yeah, exactly, proper, kosher, whatever. So, but anyway, try Mama Rees. It's outstanding. Don't take our word for it. Come try it yourself.
You have to.
What a bad call! You have no business being out there. Terrible!
You know, I'm a person too.
Okay, our On the Road show here around the state with AHSAA, brought to you by ALDOT, brings us to Sylacauga today. And if you come to Sylacauga, you'll hear everybody say Sylacauga, the Marble City. Well, Lauren, there's a reason they call it the Marble City. 32 miles of marble run underneath this city, and man, there's a lot of cool facts. We're here at the quarry overlook site. I encourage everybody, if you're in this area, to come do that and look at this. And they used to mine this for ornamental purposes. It's the purest white marble in the world here in Sylacauga. They used to mine it for sculptures and statues, a lot of that you'll see that when we go downtown in Sylacauga. But Lauren, the calcium carbonate, the everyday usage of things in the products is what it's mined for now. But I'll kind of let you tell everybody where we are.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful place to be, just piggybacking exactly off of what Brett said. But I'm just going to read off a little bit of facts about where we're standing. The point that we are standing on is at an elevation of about 600 feet above sea level. At its lowest point, this quarry goes down to approximately 150 feet above sea level. The water in the quarry is a collection of ground runoff and rainwater, and the blue-green color comes from the sun's reflection off the white bottom of the quarry. And that is what is so cool, because when we got here, it wasn't quite as green, and
Right.
then we're kind of standing here and we're looking up and the sun comes out from behind the clouds, and when you look at it, it just gets more green.
Emerald green.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And again, this is a mile and a half wide, 32 miles long. Been doing this for a long time. What is calcium carbonate? What do you use? What products do you use that have calcium carbonate? Paint, adhesive, caulk, and sealant, paper, and that's filters and coatings, plastics like PVC pipes, furniture, flooring, siding, film. Hey, how about this? Toothpaste, food and pharmacy, chewing gum, carpet backing, cleaners, cultured marble, tubs and showers, caskets, diapers, trash bags, trays, frozen food dishes. I mean, the list goes on and on, Lauren, of things that we use every single day that contains calcium carbonate that comes from right here in Sylacauga, Alabama.
It's so neat because Heritage Plastics is actually another employer here in Sylacauga. A lot of people work there at Heritage Plastics, and this quarry is actually used to employ those people. Heritage Plastics uses all of these substances from this quarry.
9 to 4 every day. It's open to the public. You can drive right out here, stand where Lauren and I are standing. There's some cool little monument plaques here that have facts on it to tell you all about kind of what you and I just talked about briefly. So there's a lot cooler other facts that you can read about. But come out here to Sylacauga, the Marble City. Figure out why it's the Marble City. Right here behind me, 32 miles long worth of marble that runs 400 feet under the ground, and it's a mile and a half wide. This place is cool.
It is very cool. Another cool thing is we're standing here, and as we're standing here, there's cars that are pulling up behind the camera, and so you can kind of tell this is a relaxing place. Even though it may not seem like it, people come out here for their lunch break. I can see myself, if I was still living in this area, coming out here just to get a little peace and quiet, eat my lunch, and look over at this beautiful quarry behind us.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
With Hatton moving to Class 4A this season, same as Deshler High School, what had been a very good volleyball rivalry became even better this year. We opened this week's Holtzford Highlight segment with Deshler, coached by Hall of Famer Jana Killen, hosting Hatton. The Tigers, featuring two of the state's top blockers according to Max Prep statistical leaders, Kendall Schlarp and Jalen Davis, ranked 1 and 2 in the state after last week's competition with 172 and 133 blocks respectively. The Tigers won this match over Hatton 3-0 and also downed Class 1A Power Addison 2-0, with both players living up to their rankings. Schlarp had 11 blocks and Davis had 10 blocks in this match versus Hatton, and teammate Julia Petty had 15 kills and 4 aces as Killen's Tigers improved to 33-7 on the season. We move from the volleyball court to Deshler's football stadium for our next highlight. We pick up the action with the Tigers hosting Colbert County. Deshler jumped out to a quick 13-0 lead, but saw that lead evaporate as Colbert County came back to take a 14-13 lead. Deshler's Price Thornton steadied the ship and led his team to victory, however, passing for 219 yards and 3 touchdowns, with touchdown strikes to Garrett Reed and Camden Fuller. Running back Quintavious Harden was the hero, though, scoring on a 2-yard touchdown run with 1 minute and 16 seconds left to give the Tigers of Coach Patrick Malone a 28-21 victory. Next up is the Fort Payne High School Wildcats taking on the Mortimer Jordan Blue Devils on Friday night in Fort Payne, Alabama. The defense led the way for Fort Payne, holding Mortimer Jordan scoreless most of the game. Quarterback Dax Varnador completed 21 of 25 passes for 231 yards and a touchdown to Carter Blaylock. Varnador also added 41 yards on the ground on 7 carries. Brandon Oliver has 7 catches for 96 yards, while Riker Shankles had 3 catches for 29 yards. Connor Hughes added a field goal in the game, as well as proving to be a weapon for the Wildcats just 2 weeks after kicking multiple 50-yard field goals in a game against Southside. The game ended in a Fort Payne victory over the Blue Devils 16-6. Talladega High School, coached by Damian Dorsey, came into last week's football clash with Asheville on a disappointing 26-game losing streak. But on last Friday's rainy homecoming night, the Tigers ended that skid. Quarterback Zay Lyles accumulated 218 all-purpose yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, scoring on a 48-yard run and a 1-yard run in the fourth quarter. Lyles also fired a 60-yard touchdown pass to sophomore Malik Smith in the second quarter. Asheville was able to tie the game 16-16 in the third quarter, but Talladega's Lyles' strong final quarter effort led Talladega to a 35-28 victory and its first win of the season. Class 6A Parker, coached by former Grambling star running back Frank Warren, hosted Class 7A powerhouse Hoover last week and came away with a 14-10 win. Parker's first win over the Bucks since 1991. It was the Thundering Herds defense that matched the Bucks in the trenches to seal the victory. That defense only allowed a field goal as the only offensive points for the Bucks in the game. Parker took the lead a short time later, however, when Timothy Merritt found Kentrell Davis for a 35-yard touchdown reception to take a 7-3 lead. Hoover's defense stepped up when Cameron Torbor forced a fumble and Justin Hartley picked it up and raced 19 yards for a touchdown, giving the Bucks a 10-7 lead. Parker's defense was just too tough, and the Herds' offense would rise one more time. Merritt scored on a 5-yard quarterback keeper as Parker held on for a 14-10 win. Merritt finished with 80 yards passing and 47 yards rushing. Running back Naeem Offord contributed 68 yards on 10 carries as Parker won for the 4th time in 11 meetings since first playing in 1986. Heading down to Central Alabama, we look in on Class 7A Opelika taking on Class 6A Pike Road. The Bulldogs defense also shined, first forcing Pike Road to muff a punt to set up a 1-yard touchdown run by Javari Johnson for a 7-0 Opelika lead. The Bulldogs of first-year head coach Brian Moore stretched the lead to 21-0 on a Calvin Hughley 4-yard touchdown run and Tyrese Pitt's 33-yard interception return. The Patriots would battle back, however, with touchdown runs from Jamichael Johns and Jordan Holmes, but Reese Beasley's field goal and another Hughley touchdown would seal the 31-20 victory for the Bulldogs as they improved to 5-1 on the season. Class 5A Citronelle traveled to South Mobile County taking on Class 7A Alma Bryant last week, and the Wildcats of Coach Jason Rowell pulled out a 29-6 victory thanks in big part to quarterback Dalen Edmonds. He threw for a touchdown and ran for another. And C.C. Noyd added a pick 6 for Citronelle. Edmonds was 8 of 19 passing for 180 yards and had 14 rush attempts for 103 yards rushing. Zach Morgan caught a 37-yard pass. Keyshawn Williams added a 37 yards rushing touchdown. With the win, Citronelle improved to 4-2, and the Hurricanes, coached by Bart Sessions, fell to 1-4. We close this week's highlights featuring Elba High School senior running back Alvin Henderson, who led the nation's high schools in rushing touchdowns, 61 last season, with 3,523 yards on 225 carries for 15.7 yards per carry. And he's on pace to possibly beat those numbers this season and is also on pace to become the AHSAA's leading rusher in state history. In the Tigers' 48-34 victory over Goshen High School, Henderson, who leads the nation this season with 1,958 yards and 33 touchdowns on 152 carries for 12.9 yards per carry, through 6 games, rushed for 352 yards on 26 carries and scored 4 touchdowns, his lowest TD output of the season versus Goshen. Let's check out his last touchdown, which was an amazing 32-yard run to clinch the victory with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play. Elba improves to 4-2 on the season with its 3rd straight victory. They'll be at home the next 2 weeks with Georgiana and Florala trying to clinch the 1A Region 2 title.